Take a look at this place. We are in one of the most beautiful racetracks in the world. Welcome to Portugal, Montalegre to be exact, for round 7 of the World Rallycross Championship. What a year it has been in the 2021 World Rallycross Championship so far. And they say at this place, expect the unexpected. Would you believe it? Just a few years ago, it actually started snowing halfway through the event. I promise you, we are set for a fantastic afternoon's racing. Now, it wasn't the best start to the year for Johan Kristoffersson, but things picked up a couple of events ago at Riga. The question is, could he carry that momentum into Spa last time out? Well, let's take a quick look at exactly what happened. Round 6 of the World Rallycross Championship, and the circus rolled into one of motorsport's most famous homes, Spa. Belgium is well known to World RX, and 2021 would give us a weekend which would blow the championship wide open.
Good start from Kevin Hansen on the outside. In he goes. Can he make it? Oh, hammering!
Turn 1, as always, gave us plenty of thrills and spills across the weekend and across all classes.
Oh, no, it's happened again! It can't be possible!
Perhaps the most spectacular, though, was Mandy August getting it all wrong and ending up on her roof.
Great start for Kristoffersson. Timmy Hansen looks to have it, and 3 of them all locked in.
In World RX, Johan Kristoffersson and Niklas Gronholm picked up where they left off in Riga. Qualifying 1 and the paint swapping started straight away. Neither prepared to give an inch, banging wheels up Eau Rouge into the hairpin. It was eventually Kristoffersson that went on to win, while Gronholm had a disaster weekend. After retirement from Q2, he narrowly avoided the barriers in his semi-final, and the Finn did not make it through to the final as a top 6 qualifier. The Hansen brothers were, as always, on the pace and right at the business end. This weekend, though, it was Kevin Hansen who was running the show. Timmy struggling with setup on Saturday, but showed good pace on Sunday. Both made it through to the final.
Timmy Hansen wins at semi-final number 1 and wins it in style. His younger brother, Kevin, is into the final with big brother Timmy.
Johan Kristoffersson, meanwhile, fresh from his first victory of the year in Riga, arrived in Spa brimming with confidence and looking to get his championship campaign on track. The Swede had near flawless qualifying races and won his semi to stick it on pole for the final alongside Kevin Hansen. A fraught start saw Kristoffersson take the early advantage, and after lap 1 the result was starting to look like a foregone conclusion. He was on spectacular form, going on to take a lights to flag victory, but was kept honest by Kevin Hansen, who brought his Peugeot 208 home in second. Further back, Christian Szabo has been knocking on the door of a podium all year, and it finally came at Spa. He successfully managed to keep Timmy Hansen at bay, who had to settle for 4th. It marks the first time this year we have not seen him in the top 3, and with Kristoffersson taking the win, the fight in the championship has closed right up. Timmy Hansen continues to lead the driver's title fight on 151 points. But Kristoffersson is now just 12 points behind in second. Kevin Hansen drops to third, a further 3 points back on 136, while a difficult weekend in Spa means Niklas Gronholm lies 4th with 123. So another strong result for Johan Kristoffersson, and the key thing is he's closed the gap up to Timmy Hansen to just 12 points. It's game on in the World Rallycross Championship. Interestingly, it was Timmy Hansen's worst result of the year, so he needs to get a strong result here in Portugal. Instead, though, it was Kevin Hansen who was the dominant of the two in Spa. The question is, how deep does the Hansen rivalry really run? Now, we all know the Hansen brothers are renowned the world over for being the perfect pair when it comes to rallycross. But when it's head-to-head, when it's pure brotherly rivalry, what are they like? So we are having a dart-off, fellas. Here you go. No mercy, there are your tools. I've heard you're fairly handy at dart. Age before beauty?
I am both.
Ooh. Aiming high. 12. Another 12. Another 12. So, okay, so the rivalry really does run deep then. Oh, he's in! Triple 20! Straight in!
That's it.
Oh, he's a dart stallion. Go on. 1. From a hero to 0.
And another 20.
Sort of another.
Why not get the point if it's the number? Or
I'd love to say yes, but no, you don't.
You're a very strict, judge.
4. When you're at home, are you quite competitive?
We're not against each other because we know like if we get too competitive then we're both doing worse. So we have to agree we're equally good and then race together to get the championship.
Are you just saying that because you're losing at darts and you want it to be a draw at the end of this tournament? No. It's okay if you are, mate. It's okay. You need now 13.
Boom!
You needed 13.
We have a winner. We have a winner here. How does it feel to lose to Kevin? Tell me.
Right now it doesn't feel good.
Doesn't feel so good. The partnership is so important though, isn't it?
I mean, every team plays all their cards in their best favor, whatever it is. So that's a strength that we have, that we are able to work together like that. But we didn't prepare like that for the darts competition. So
with water. All right, come on, outside. Timmy, unfortunately, you lost. Kevin, you won. You may.
I want to thank all the fans for supporting me. It was nice.
Always good banter with the Hansen brothers, and as you can see, I'm joined by Johan Kristoffersen. Listen, Johan, while they're good lads, and it's all a bit of fun. At the end of the day, they do help each other out on track. You know, if one of them's out in front and one of the others in second, then he's not going to catch the leader. Then he makes a point of making the car wide. And do you ever feel a little bit ganged up on?
Well, I think that's part of the game, and they are playing that tactics very well, and they've done for many years. And obviously now also they are both up on front almost every race. So yeah, I think that's just how it is. But also I have to say, I mean, Enzo had picked up the pace, drastically since the start of the season as well. So Enzo beat me in one of the heats in Spa, and he had great pace in the final as well. But this will be a new track to him again. So, but I will try to give him all the advice I can, and hopefully get Enzo up to speed as quick as possible. I feel like he's on a good run as well. So I would like to get Enzo a bit more into that game as well.
He's doing a good job, isn't he, Enzo? And as you said, the pace is definitely coming, and he has stepped it up big time. But he's not at the same pace that Timmy or Kevin are at. So you're still sort of Lone Ranger at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much experience compared to Enzo, so for sure it's going to take time. But still, anyway, for me it's more, I have to do my job, and I have to focus on myself and try to maximize that performance. And yeah, it's always also difficult to play team tactics. It's always difficult, but obviously Hansen has been racing for many years together, so they do it very well.
They are the perfect partnership, let's face it. Listen, I want to talk to you about your year very quickly because, I mean, so much momentum after the first win in Riga, and then you did it again in Spa. If you look back at the start of the year, it was a disaster for the first few rounds, and then it's just shot up. The performance is there, the pace is there. It's a real driver's track here, though, this weekend. It should suit you.
It is a driver's track, I think. You need the car as well, of course, and the team behind the driver. That's always the case. But yeah, definitely, it's many corners after corners and a lot of driver sections. So if you miss one corner, it's going to hurt you for the next couple of 3-4 corners in some places of the track. So. Yeah, you need to be very proactive on setup and so on. Also, the weather here used to be very up and down and rain and dry and so on. So, but we only have 2 heats, so it shouldn't affect too much if you are out early or late in one of the heats. So, I think it should be very fair. Joker lap is in the first corner as well, so this track is always a lot about who's actually quickest.
There's not a lot of opportunity for overtaking either, so qualifying and the semi is so important to get right.
Yeah, the starts are always important in rallycross, but here also, as you have the joker lap in the first corner, it's quite nice, because if you don't have the best of the starts, you can duck out in the joker lap and capitalize on pace. So pace is very important here as well. If it's raining here, it's very difficult with the visibility following another car. So you just have to be prepared with that. So you make sure that the car doesn't steam up inside, and you have the wipers and the washer fluid on the windscreen. So small details which comes with experience from being here before. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward. After the momentum we have last couple of race weekends, it's only 12 points left up to Timmy. There is a gap for sure. That's going to be very difficult to catch up, but still, it feels a little bit more within reach now compared to when it was 27 at its most. So yeah, there is a fire inside. I'm really looking forward to get back racing tomorrow.
It's definitely doable. That's what we want to hear. You're a legend. Wish you all the very best of luck. In the meantime, that's enough chat with us about the track. Let's take a closer look with Timmy Hansen.
Hey, Timmy Hansen here. We are in the north of Portugal, in the mountains, in Montalegre for round 7 of the World Championship. This is one of my personal favorite tracks to drive. Got some great gravel section. Right now we're at the start line. Very fast run down towards turn 1. Let me show you the track. So here we are in turn 1. We approach this corner with, I think, around 180 side by side. And at this point in the early race, you usually see a split between the guys who take the joker and the guys who go into the normal lap. In here, this corner is where we'll most of the time be, and it's quite slippery, very low speed. You come from this 180, brake down through the gears and pull the handbrake at around 30 kilometers per hour. Have to hook it on the inside. This is one of the few tarmac corners on the track where you need a stiff car. The rest of the track then will be gravel. At the exit of the first corner, we have the joker merge, and in my experience here is where the most of the crashes have happened. The guys from the joker exit this way, and from the normal track exit this way. So when you're too close, a lot of times we've seen some contact here. It's not really possible to be side by side through this narrow chicane on tarmac that we see behind. It is very precise here, braking then after this into a left-hander before we hit that lovely gravel section that comes just after. The gravel here is very different to what we've seen the last few races. In the last few tracks, the gravel has been almost like concrete, but here, the gravel is much softer. And the driving style on this gravel is that you really have to attack every corner. You have to get the car sideways on throttle and spin the wheels. I love driving this gravel section, it's so much fun. The curbs on this track are also very special. They're massive. You'll see some guys just touching it, and some guys, including me probably, will be up here. And you have to get the car sideways, just jump onto the curb, slide at the exit, and then rotate the other way to go to that next corner, and then attack that curb as well. Coming out of that right-hander, the corner continues, and you're super sideways, flat on the throttle, throwing the gravel behind you all the way out there. Then at the end of this long corner, you want to get on the brake, rotate the car even more, get it pointed, and then have a nice and straight exit onto the final section of the track. So at the last part of the track here, it feels very much like threading the needle between the walls. You have to get the car right and left and right before going back onto the start-finish straight and having completed the lap. I'm very excited. I hope you are excited. Now let's go racing.
So that's what we are in for. It is unquestionably one of the best laps of the year. Very quickly, things to keep an eye out for. The run down into turn 1. It's a long, long way down there into a heavy braking zone. So mayhem guaranteed at the start of the race. Then you've got the joker merge. That's going to get naughty. And of course, the run down into turn 7 now. It's a long, wide entry into here. So you might see some drivers sticking up the inside and using this curb into turn 8 and then back onto the main straight. It's going to be mega. I'm buzzing. If you are watching live on YouTube, you need to cross over to Red Bull TV for all the action as we hand over to our commentators.
Hello and welcome to round 7 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, making a welcomed return to the mountainous racetrack of Montalegre in northern Portugal. High up in the Vila Real mountains, this historic and picturesque racetrack formed part of the original World Rallycross Championship back in 2014. And with its undulating layout and unpredictable weather at over 1,000 metres above sea level, Montalegre makes for a